Hello YouTubies, this is Joker Scribe and thank you for watching this amazing, most bodacious and incredible YouTube video. And some logic and common sense is going to be discussed in this video. As you can see in this picture, we've got a bunch of houses built on some sand dunes. And the media is going crazy about this. Global warming, they say, climate change, we're all going to die. Every single year it's the same. It's either going to be the wettest February, the driest February, the windiest February. Oh, Glasgow had the windiest February ever. So they have to find a story somewhere in Great Britain where they can say, look, it's been the coldest in this part ever. It's been the coldest here. And they can always find that every single year. And then they can promote this global warming BS. And they do it every single year without fail. That doesn't prove anything. That just proves that they can find stories all over the place and manipulate the data a little bit for the sheeple out there. Now, nothing really annoys me more than stupidity. Alright, nothing really annoys me more than seeing a bunch of sheeple blame everybody else for their own mistakes. Okay, right, so here we've got a bunch of houses built on sand dunes. And you all should know this saying, the foolish man built his house upon the sand, and the rains came tumbling in, and the waves came in as well, and then washed the houses away. You know this saying, don't you? This is very old. This is ancient saying, thousands of years ago, before the supposed global warming, and even then the climate change was happening. Because they changed the climate change because it fits everything quite nicely. You know, it gets cold, it gets warm, that's climate change. In fact, every single weather variance is classed as climate change. Every single one. So it just nails it into the sheeple out there who believe everything that they see in the national newspapers. But the national newspapers have made a mistake here as far as I'm concerned. Because the picture here shows that there are some foolish people out there. Now, I'm not being mean to them, but, you know, they're claiming that, it's global warming and it's climate change and, you know, it's your fault that they built their houses upon the sand. But if you build your houses in front of the sea, where anything can happen, right? Anything can happen. There can be storms at any time. It doesn't even matter if it was 300 years ago. There were storms back then. If you're building your house upon the sand, you are asking for it. You really are. You're more than asking for it. You're going to get it sometime or another. And that's the problem. That's why some of these places have been flooded. Now, there are some political agendas out there that are going to try to push people away from rural areas. I understand that. So they purposely flood areas. And you can see on the BBC that they actually admitted that. They actually cut off the flood barriers and allowed the water to flood the floodplains straight away. Because in case it was going to flood part of London. You know, as if that's going to happen. But they want to make sure that their interest is not affected. So this is the thing. This is the type of nutcases we're dealing with. And floodplains, by the way, are likely to be flooded every single year. I've seen a picture in the newspaper recently and Yahoo saying, oh, this is the worst flood ever, right? But that place, that house, was said years ago as the most flooded in Britain. It floods every single year. So they built some dunes to stop it, you know, some protection barriers from floods, because they understand that floods every single year. They only even have a boat. He's dead, by the way. The ex-one who actually built the area around it where it stops it from flooding, that guy's been dead for years. So to use that picture is very manipulative. So, you know, guys, if you don't believe everything you see in the newspapers, okay? When they're talking about this climate change BS, which is happening, I do appreciate the people out there who go about their way and try to find cleaner fuel, who try to find reusable energy sources so we don't have, nuclear disaster or something. Or we're not burning like smog stuff in the air where it will actually affect your health. I understand that completely. But, excuse me, I understand that completely. But the problem is, there are people out there who manipulate it so much for financial gain. That's what it's all about. It doesn't matter how well or how healthy you live, or everybody, they will find ways to say there's an environmental disaster because it makes money, because people will buy into it and they will give their money away. They will be convinced and they will be gaslighted to hand over their hard-earned money to the government. That's what this is all about. You will never solve the issue. It's just like the world hunger crisis. You're never going to solve it by giving them money. It's never going to happen because it makes too much money. It's a multi-trillion-pound dollar industry. So if that goes bust, who's going to donate to them? Who's going to donate for the people who go on these business trips with the charity's money? I mean, it's just unthinkable. So, guys, right, I've seen so much going on the Yahoo websites, BBC, and you name it, claiming climate change, or climate change has got something to do with the tsunami in Japan. And interesting enough, you can't find any stories about the Japan tsunami before it was revealed that it was an earthquake. From the Daily Mail, the British tabloids, you can't find any stories. They deleted it because it's embarrassing for them, because they can't promote their climate change BS with it. That's why. And that's what they're up to. They are sneaky, devious little gits. And it's all to do with gaslighting you guys into paying more tax. What about this carbon dioxide rubbish that animals respirate with? That we've been doing it for years, well before man. This has been going on for years. Carbon dioxide has been in the air for absolutely bonkers years. It happens. Of course, there's also the trees that are supposed to suck up the carbon dioxide, but it happens. I mean, that's not nothing new. That's normal. That's not a really disastrous type of component in the air, but the governments are all saying it is. So yeah, look at the sand dune picture, guys. Right? If you can't be any dafter than that, and they blame climate change, whatever. You built your houses upon the sand, right? That's why you got in trouble. That's your problem. You did it to yourselves by doing that. You bought the locations, you understood the risk, and now you want money from the population pockets. Puppets, I was going to say. That's what you want. And this is the problem we've got going, guys. We've got people out there who are just pushing this because of emotional reasons, because they want some money back. And by the way, those people building the houses upon sand dunes, they must have some money to burn. You know what I mean? So that's another thing. If somebody's got a seaside property like that, they're not poor. They're probably. I mean, David Cameron's probably a relative of theirs or something. That's why they're promoting this. But you've got to look at it. I mean, just look. These houses are built on sand dunes. What do you expect is going to happen sooner or later? It's just the right disaster for the climate change fruitcakes, isn't it? That's what this is all about. It's just perfect for them. Anyway, thank you for watching, and goodbye for now. Bit of a rant there, bit of a rave, bit of, see you later, goodbye.